couldn't have asked for better older siblings to grow up with and learn from. Sarah is one of the most amazing people I know. She has an unmatchable energy to her. She just fills the room. Amazingly, she found someone that exhibits that same quality. Dan already feels like part of the family. I can't imagine holidays or any major events without him. I'm so excited that I officially have another brother. Now back to Sarah. I would like to focus on two things that I haven't said enough to you in my life. Thank you and I love you. Not because I didn't feel them in the moment, but rather as siblings, I think these feelings were always understood but rarely expressed. When I started writing this, I had just recently read an article theorizing that your siblings shaped your personality more than your parents. Being the youngest, I've always been an incredibly observant person. And I can honestly say thank you for being the best role model I could ever imagine. I'm very lucky if anyone views me to be anything like you. Now on to the second part. I love you. For all the times I could have said it in the past 26 years, and all the times in the future that it will go unsaid, I want you to know that I love you, and I will always be your little brother. Everyone raise your glass. Cheers to a lifelong happiness for you and Dan.
Dan, you know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams. Dr. Seuss said this, and you are the reason. I know exactly what he means. You're my best friend, and there's no one I would rather spend the rest of my life with. I had some high standards and an extensive list of qualities that I imagined and hoped my partner in life would possess. I imagined the kind of relationship I wanted to be in. Writing this today, I can say you are not only the man of my dreams, but you're a man beyond my wildest imagination. In some ways, we fall into that cliche that opposites attract. You like to eat things that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot fork. You research statistics and create spreadsheets for fun, which I may never understand. You have a great memory, and more often than not, you know the answers to trivia questions, especially the geography ones. There are so many reasons that you're my favorite person, but here are a few that will always be true. You are smart and frequently looking for ways to learn more. You always know how to make me laugh. Rarely do you turn down my crazy ideas for date night or my suggestions of what we should eat for dinner. You have a level of self-discipline that will always push me to do more. You support me and encourage me, even if it requires a sacrifice on your end. We make a great team, and we definitely have the most fun. Wait, is this not a competition? Well, if it is, we're definitely winning. Now that I have the man of my dreams, I dream about all the adventures to come and the amazing life we are going to build together. Thanks for choosing me. I choose you, and I will forever be grateful for your love and our relationship. It's only fair I give Dr. Seuss the last word. We are all a little weird, and life's a little weird, and when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall into mutual weirdness and call it love. Love you always, Sarah.
What is this noise? Who's in there? Sarah, I'm so happy our lives have led up to this moment. Who would have thought that meeting at a kickball tournament would turn into such an amazing relationship? I knew you were the one when I realized that we both hated ketchup and we both like mustard. You are such an amazing woman who has such a big heart and a great sense of humor, and you love to live life to the fullest. I love all of the adventures we have been on together, from our big adventures like Canada, the Grand Caymans, and our engagement trip in the UK and Ireland, to our small adventures like bowling, our trips to Disney, and our little trips to Jeremiah's or the Snowball Shack for a treat. I love how strong our relationship is, and that even though we were apart for 2 years, we were able to make it work, and we are closer now because of it. As you know, a lot of people get cold feet on their wedding day, but I'm not one of those people. I'm very excited to go on this journey with you by my side and all the adventures we have ahead of us. Always remember that Team Kitty is the baddest of them all, and I want you to know that you are my best friend, my closest companion, and I love you with all my heart. Your one and only Big Kitty, Dan.
Sarah, Mom and I are so proud of the young woman you are. We love your passion for life, the ability to take on challenges, and the kindness to others, which is demonstrated by everybody that came here today. As you know, we loved you first and always will. But in marrying Dan today, you found your love of your life, and we're so happy about that. So if we could raise our glass, Dan and Sarah, as you start your new adventure together, remember to live these lessons of putting others first and family every day. Use the words of we and us as often as you can, and never lose your love for life and each other. Cheers.
Dan mentions that he's been talking to a girl that he met at kickball. Anyway, he says he's coming to Nashville and wants me to meet Sarah. I'm obviously excited, but also a bit reserved because if you've met Dan and any of his exes, then you know I was bracing myself for a little bit of crazy. Fortunately for Dan and all parties involved, Sarah was the total opposite. She laughed at his stupid jokes. She could barely keep from putting her hand on his big manly forearms at the dinner table at that restaurant. And she even found his shiny dome piece to be attractive. But best of all, and really best of all, she truly seemed to enjoy Dan for being the big, quirky hunk that we all know he is. And I'm excited to see where the marriage takes you guys. And that's what this is all about. You two are now one. And now, your problems are her problems are your problems, and your happiness is her happiness is yours. So let's raise our glasses to a lifetime of health and happiness, and hopefully years and years and years of Dan and Sarah making each other the happiest couple.
Now, the moment everyone's been waiting for, Dan and Sarah, your first kiss as a married couple. Thought that was going to take a little longer. Finally, it is my honor and privilege to introduce to each of you Mr. and Mrs. Dan Dupuy.
I was actually my brother's best man at his wedding not too long ago, so if you're also at that wedding, just bear with me because I'm going to do the same speech. So. As we've gotten older, I've noticed that we're really more alike than we are different, and I'm so proud of everything she's accomplished in her life. I'm so glad to be here celebrating with Sarah and Dan. He matches her playfulness and sense of adventure. And if everybody could just raise their glass, and as we can give a cheers to their epic partnership and all the years for them to come.